WhatsApp
to be
Live.
closer. Okay.
Oh no, we made it work! Yay! Okay, so Melissa had this epiphany that if you turn it sideways, you can fit two people in, and we're not like this. Like, we don't have to like love each other. Not that we don't love each other, but we don't have to like be in each other's bubble. So, welcome to Facebook Live special. Well, I can't even talk tonight. It's because it's Thursday, and I'm just so excited that Olivia's here. It is Real Life Edition. I have a special guest tonight. I'm super excited to have her. This is Olivia Clouse. She is amazing. I met her through the gym, and we've kind of known each other a little bit off and on for the last probably year or so, and had kind of some contact. But now that I've gotten to know her a little bit better, she has such an amazing story. I'm so excited to be here with her tonight. We are talking about body image and eating disorders, and I just realized the TV is still on here, which don't ask me why. I'm going to turn that off really quick. But I'm going to give her just a quick second as I'm popping around here for her to tell you a little bit about herself so that you know who she is and why she's here. And we'll definitely get into asking some great questions. Hi, Mary. Mary's hopped on.
Hey, Mary.
We were just talking about you, girl. Good stuff. Totally good stuff. So let me turn off this stinking TV. My husband was watching sports, if you can't tell. So go ahead. Just tell everybody really quickly. Can you just give a little bit of background on you, just in case they didn't read your bio, and I'm going to turn that thing off.
Hey guys, I am Olivia, as Melissa said. I am from Tri-Cities, and I have grown up, been raised, born here, everything, and I have a son, and I'm married to Maureen.
Which is super cool.
Yeah, Marines, go Marines.
Yeah. You know what? She loves to lift, so we're like lifting sisters. It's pretty awesome. So I've seen her at the gym. She's got some deadlifts going on, and I love that. So tell us really quick, Olivia. Tell me a little bit. You don't even have to. I know she's got some really interesting background, but of course, we want to kind of give you a general idea of why she's here. So tell us a little bit about your eating disorder and how you got to that point.
Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit to kind of like high school, just to give you a brief so you can kind of see. But I remember thinking about eating as far back as 12 years old. And I didn't really realize that until I was, until I decided to get help. That, wow, I've had a problem since I've been 12. So I have always loved fitness. Running was my big, huge thing. I love to run. I did track and cross country, and I had an issue then. I just didn't really come out about it. I was younger, and I was like, oh, I don't have a problem. I just want to be, skinny was the deal. That was my thing. Right. I want to be skinny. Well, not skinny is overrated. I want to be buff now.
Healthy fit.
So right? Healthy fit, yes. Word. So I fast forward to now, about my son's 5. So about 5 years ago, I was pregnant with my son, and everybody's like, oh, you'll never lose that weight. And I love competitions. So that was like a competition to me. Oh yeah, you're not going to lose that weight. Okay. I had a C-section. So a lot of people were like, oh, you'll never lose it. You'll never lose it. So I was like, okay, well, I'll show you. So I had my son. I started running. My goal was to run a marathon. I ran a lot. I took my son. I got that jogging stroller. Actually ran past Melissa's house. Didn't even know she lived here. Used to run past her house all the time. I ran 26 plus miles a week.
Oh my goodness,
eating
that's a lot.
Like nothing. I didn't think I had a problem. I did Insanity. So much times I don't want to ever do Insanity again. And I was wondering why. Why don't I have muscles? Why don't I, but I want to be skinny. You can't have both.
Right.
But I didn't know that. I was like, okay, well, so I kept running. I finally started having issues with my back. And so I went into a chiropractor, thought that was going to be a thing. Asked if I could run one night after chiropractic. And he said, yeah, go for it. Went on a 5-mile run, and I snapped something in the bottom of my back.
Wow. Okay.
And that went downhill fast because I couldn't run anymore. I finished running home. Painful, still ran through it. Got home, and I was like, okay, this is bad. So then I started to freak out because I didn't have that outlet. I didn't have, the outlet of running. And I started I ate less than I did when I was running, 500 calories or less. And then that went on for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. I got really skinny. People try to tell me, you need help, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I ignored them. So, Yeah,
Yeah, and I've seen the picture. I mean, and
Yeah.
she definitely was very, very skinny. And so, what finally made you decide to get help?
Well, me and my husband were fighting a lot, so it caused a lot of fighting because, you know, when you don't eat, you get angry.
Sure.
And we were just fighting to the point, and it was actually last Christmas that I said, I need some help because I'm going to lose my life if I do not get some help. And, you know, I didn't want my son to not have a mom or,
True.
you know, and I was tired of feeling that way. I was tired of going through this up and down emotion. So I finally said, I need help or I'm going to die. And I told
Sure.
my husband that. Those are his exact words. And I went and got help, and it's the best thing that I've ever done. There's so many people out there that are so accepting, that are willing to help, that want you to get help. And I see lifting, running. I don't run as much anymore because the injury still comes back
Right,
sometimes. But I don't care. Like, I can find other ways to have that outlet because it helps with, I went through depression during that time, anxiety. Sure. Some of the depression and anxiety comes from childhood a little bit too, but
Okay.
which kind of led up to, I feel like, the eating disorder because of the perfectionism. Like, oh, I have
Right.
to be perfect,
Right.
you know, for this similar situation that I went through. But no, I mean, I want to live because I have my son. I mean, we've had a couple family deaths, and I see what it's done to them, and I'm like, wow, that's, you know, terrible, you know.
Right. But at least you got to that point,
Yeah.
and you've been able to see.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, so what today, these days? I mean, what do you look forward to? What kind of keeps you going, and from kind of going down that pathway?
I do have my bad days sometimes, but what I do is I just have to talk to myself to say, you know what, that size on those jeans or those pants do not matter.
Right.
The number on the scale does not matter. The only reason why I weigh myself now is because I am trying to gain muscle. So
Sure.
I want to see if it changed a little bit, but then I also need to see if that was fat or muscle that I gained. I don't care anymore. Like, if I feel good, if I feel healthy, then that's what matters to me.
And I think that a lot of women actually, to some degree, feel very similar. It's maybe it's just a little, it's just been taken a little further just because of your past, you know, experiences. But I think a lot of people relate to that to some degree, especially women. We're so hard on ourselves.
Yes, we are.
And it doesn't help that, you know, in general, media these days, I mean, it has since when I was young, skinny was the in thing,
Yeah.
right? You know, the
Yeah.
skinny models, things like that. It's changed a little bit to some degree. And obviously with health and fitness, it's gotten a little bit better about more towards health and being fit versus skinny.
Yeah.
But I still feel like there's such a huge disconnect with being happy with who you are and having respect for yourself and your body. And so we still have a way to go.
Yeah.
With that. So what kind of advice would you give to someone who might be having similar thoughts or similar issues, you know, that might relate to you?
I would say reach out to somebody. Just reach out. Anybody, even if it's not a professional and you trust someone close to you, reach out to them. Tell them that you know, your issues, and maybe they can help you get professional help. But I promise you, it's not embarrassing. I promise you, there's people out there that will support you,
Totally.
hug you, love you, no matter what. Even
Right.
no matter the size you are. And you guys, don't go around skinny shaming. Like, that is rude.
Well,
Like,
it's all ridiculous.
yeah,
You know
it's
what?
ridiculous. Don't do it.
And I think what disturbs me the most is that it starts at the most youngest levels. You know, like you said, you know, and I remember my first diet, I was 12. My mother took me with her to Weight Watchers. So it's something that starts so young. And not only that, but and obviously as kids, I mean, kids are mean, right?
Yeah,
It's
kids are
in
mean.
the schools. And unfortunately, like when we were kids, the bullying happened at school. Now it follows them home on social media. And I find it completely unacceptable and ridiculous. We need to teach people that you are okay. It doesn't matter your size or shape. You know, yes, of course, my goal is for everybody to be healthy because I want them to be happy and live long, healthy lives. But everybody's important. Everybody's important. And
Everyone is important.
There's no reason that we need to put people down, ever, right? And as women, you know, we should support each other and cheer each other on. How awesome is it when somebody, you know, good job. Hey, Olivia, good job today. It makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. And it makes a better world, right?
Yep.
I think that's, so you talked a little bit about professional help. Is that something then that has helped you?
Yes, I do see a counselor. I'm still working. I have some, like I said, some childhood past too that kind of, and a few things leading up to it. But I see a counselor, and it's helped tremendously. I feel like I'm back to my old self, but not the old self that I used to be. Like my old self where I enjoy things. I can go out and, go to the gym and, see people and everything and be okay.
And it also gives you a way to bounce things off of someone who is not emotionally attached to you.
Yep.
Which is good. I think we all in general kind of need that. Sometimes it is great to have somebody that you can confide into that's not going to judge, but also can give you kind of an honest and educated opinion. And I don't think it matters what type of issues you're having, whether it is, some sort of an eating disorder, anorexia, bulimia, any sort of body dysmorphia, or whether it's any sort of issue, whether, dealing with alcohol. Most of us somewhere to some degree, especially I have an unhealthy relationship with food. Do I deal with it in a very decent way at this point, a very healthy way? But it took me a long time and a lot of educating myself and learning. So please, if you feel like you need professional help, you are not broken. You are, it doesn't mean you're bad in any way. It means that you need one extra tool to help get you going in the right direction.
Agreed.
Right?
Yes.
My biggest issue of becoming, pretty unhealthy and obese was I just didn't have the education, right?
Yep.
They don't teach enough in schools. They don't teach, here's what food does. Food is fuel. This is how to deal with it. I learned that food was a stress release, right? And I would eat when I was bored. So now that I've learned that food is fuel, and yes, it can be other things. It can be tradition. It can be community. It can be all those things. But to learn to use that sparingly and wisely, it takes a little bit of an education. And if you need that help, that's definitely something that I think should be approached. So do you have any other thoughts? I know we've had some great comments. Mary's, of course, up there commenting. She loves you, by the way. She's like, thank you for coming to fit for me. We love Mary. She is so funny. You want to have an entertaining evening? Spend it with Mary. But any last thoughts or anything, that you have to tell anybody who might be ready to reach out but not quite there yet?
Nothing that I can really add. The only thing I can add is that you guys, everyone's different, so don't look at somebody and compare yourself to them.
Hallelujah.
Everyone is different. You can look at somebody and say, I want to have something similar, but don't say, I want to be like them, because you'll never be like those people. Everyone's different. So
absolutely,
don't try to live up to somebody else's expectations. Make your own goals and live up to them.
Well, and I think the more that you compare yourself to others,
in a healthy way,
it makes you unhappy. I mean,
yeah.
I'm almost 43 years old, and I am okay with do I have my moments? I totally do. But the older I get, the less I give a crap what other people think. And that's a pretty amazing, benefit and a skill to have. But it took some wisdom and some time, right? Yep. So don't compare yourself. I've learned to shut that part off when necessary, because I love everybody. And I love, if we were all the same, it would make for a really boring world at this point.
It would.
Right?
Yes.
So I know that we both appreciate some supportive people in her life. We know that the Fit For Me gym here in the Tri-Cities, Washington has been a huge support. Wonderful. They're really great because they do support and empower women. That's why I love being affiliated with them. But there's some great people, and there's a great community in this area. There's no reason why, even within social media, that we can't support each other. And so definitely follow some of us that are excited to be part of your lives and that we love you. And if you have any questions, please feel free. We'll keep checking on here. You can comment below. You can also email me at melissa@fillmorefitness.com. We do respond. We try to get back to you as quickly as possible because we love you and we want you to be happy. So have an incredible new year. Hopefully you have some great goals. I'm not going to say New Year's resolutions because those of you that know me know how I feel about them. What's happening January 1st that you couldn't do November 1st. But if you're going to set, it is a great time to reflect and to think about, what can you do different? And if you weren't paying attention or watching last night, my Q&A Wednesday was how to have successful New Year's resolutions. You can go back and watch that. I did post it. But it's here, guys. The New Year's here, 2018. It's going to be the best year ever because you choose to make it so. So thanks again to Olivia for coming tonight. I truly appreciate her. It's been wonderful. I'm so grateful to get to know her. Have an incredible evening, and we'll talk to you very soon. Have a good night, guys.